everyone, welcome to my vlog. My name is Amanda Garrow, and today I want to tell you about my experience as an SDSU student during the COVID-19 pandemic. But before that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. I know you were probably hoping for a fun and lighthearted video, and I will get to that, but I want to start off on something serious because this situation is life and death for so many people. I want to talk about how I feel as though my school, my state, and my country has dealt with this pandemic. Collectively, I could reduce it down to a single word, which is unprepared. Starting off with San Diego State, I believe in the beginning they had our best interests in mind when they encouraged students to leave back in March of 2020. However, something that just doesn't sit right with me is the fact that they allowed freshmen to return and dorm the following fall semester. This obviously caused a gigantic increase in COVID-19 cases, but for what? Room and board money? Not only that, but the decision for SDSU to cancel spring break really confused me. They said that it was to make sure that students don't leave for vacation and come back with the virus. But what is the difference between our spring break and Christmas break? Is it because SDSU offers classes during then and they wouldn't want to give up on that kind of money? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that because I don't think I've ever really heard a clear answer. Next, I'll touch on how I feel as though California has done in terms of slowing the spread of the coronavirus cases. For one, like SDSU and the rest of the country, I feel as though California was ill-prepared for a pandemic like this. We have seen the countless full hospitals, ICU units, and lack of ventilators, and I have seen more people die from this disease than any other state. Although California is the most populous state in the entire United States, it is still an extremely scary sight to see. This is especially haunting when you see our governor, Gavin Newsom, dine with dozens of friends at the same time thousands perish in hospital beds, surrounded by IV tubes rather than friends and family. I think it's time to stand up and hold people like Newsom accountable for their actions, for it is their doings that others look up to and follow suit. It is only together that we can get through a daunting situation like this. Although vaccines are available now, the damage has already been done, and it is tragic to see. I am most disappointed when it comes to discrediting our leadership and how they handled the pandemic. For one, they didn't handle it at all because they did absolutely nothing to encourage mask wearing, social distancing, or the benefits of vaccines. I believe that this was the downfall of then President Donald J. Trump, who refused to acknowledge the danger of the disease and was even reported to call it a hoax. That kind of dialogue is extremely hazardous to the American public and actually rather embarrassing to watch. So please, if you're watching this, listen to science. Do not listen to political leaders, whether they are Democratic or Republican, because their job is to persuade you rather than tell you the facts. I now want to touch on my experience as a college student here at San Diego State University during this pandemic. I guess I should start from the beginning. On March 14th, basically everyone's world turned upside down here. I was a sophomore during my second semester, living on-campus apartments, and suddenly dozens of emails were being sent my way stating that in-person classes were no longer happening. I was shocked. It seemed so out of the blue. But then throughout the day, we kept on getting more and more updates, eventually telling us to pack up and leave on-campus residence as soon as possible. I'm sure you can imagine how everyone felt that day. It was full of sadness, confusion, and chaos. However, now that time has passed, the situation is starting to feel a lot more normal, even in a world still shaken by this pandemic. I have to say, I am extremely happy that in-person classes are happening again this upcoming fall semester, so it will definitely feel like things are a lot more normal again. Ever since the beginning of this pandemic and starting this new spring semester, I've learned quite a few lessons myself. First, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to practice social distancing and to wear a mask. Unfortunately, I dealt with COVID-19 myself, and it was as bad as many people had told me. I had zero appetite, a high fever, and lost my sense of taste and smell for over a week. Everything that was a remedy for COVID-19 was something that I strayed away from because my illness, and I felt horrible for so long because of it. However, I am one of the lucky ones, which brings me back to my biggest lesson learned. I am lucky because I'm in a position where I'm young, healthy, and have access to healthcare. This is not the circumstance for most people, and although I had extremely minor side effects from the disease, I can at least dip my toes into how it feels to struggle during these times. My biggest advice would be to never stop advocating for wearing masks and social distancing because no matter how invincible and young you might be, it could always happen to you. Now that I have that over with, I want to talk to you guys about how school is going for me. You may be wondering what it's like to have the best 4 years of your life overtaken by something so small we can't even see it with a microscope. Trust me when I say it isn't the greatest feeling in the world. I can't even visit my campus if I wanted to. I've been involved in an online learning experience for over an entire year now, and let me tell you, there actually are some perks to it. I don't have mandatory class periods. I don't have to go on Zoom and show my unbrushed hair and pimple cream covered face. And best of all, I don't have to take notes if I really don't feel like it right then and there. I can just watch lecture videos on my own time and get my rest if it's so desperately needed. I would say that this is a great thing for stress management, but somewhat of a terrible thing for time management. I have to muster up the willpower to do all this work on my own time, which is definitely a con to this situation, and I don't exactly feel the satisfaction of finishing a class period like I used to. But probably the main thing that I hate about this situation is just the fact that I feel as though I'm totally missing out on my college experience. I know that I was able to at least experience my freshman and most of my sophomore year, but still, that seemed like no time at all. Looking back, I took all of those times I didn't want to wake up and walk to school for granted. I took the feeling of being late for class and running across campus for granted. I took being able to ask my professor a question face to face for granted. I took getting ready for a party on a Friday night for granted. I just miss everything about it, and I feel really selfish now. But however, I know that I'm not alone, so that does make me feel a little bit better. All I can do is just hope and pray that the situation gets better so I can really use my experience as an opportunity to better myself. If there's anything to take away from this is to live in the moment and appreciate everything that is happening because it can all be gone in a flash, even when you least expect it. I hope you guys were able to hear my experience and relate to it in some way. If not, that is totally okay, but I sincerely wish that you guys talk about what I said from this video and apply it to your own life. I want all of you to stay safe and stay healthy, and even in a terrible situation like this, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel. We will get through this together and come out the other side much stronger. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. Bye, guys.